Hello everyone, welcome back. This is RandoGEEK. Alright, so a bit of cord cutting news for you. Alright, so this subject here, we're talking about it because it involves Disney and DirecTV. Disney, basically not the easiest production company to work with over the last couple of years. A lot of back and forth with this company between cable providers and themselves. Very difficult to get deals done in a timely manner, and pricing where cable companies feel like they're actually getting enough value for themselves in order to pass the savings along to consumers. The struggle has been very real for cable providers to do business with Disney, is what I'm saying. But it looks like Disney is not happy with the way that DirecTV has called them out. And they're basically saying that, they're full of it, that you're misrepresenting how we work, how we do things, and we don't like it. So they issued a strong response to DirecTV's recent statements, they're saying, regarding their ongoing contract negotiations, emphasizing the misrepresentation of facts by DirecTV and reaffirming Disney's commitment to reaching a fair agreement, they're saying. They're saying in a joint statement, Dana Walden and Alan Bergman, co-chairman of Disney Entertainment, along with Jimmy Pitero, who is the chairman of ESPN, underscored their priority to secure a deal that, of course, benefits all parties, particularly the consumers, they're saying. So basically, they called DirecTV out and they said in a statement that DirecTV continues to misrepresent the facts around our ongoing negotiations. They said that their priority is to reach a marketplace deal that serves the needs of DirecTV and their customers, while also recognizing the value of our top quality content and the significant investment required to create and acquire it. All right, they're saying Disney's stance in the negotiations revolves around three key points. The first key point is content investment and value of portfolio. They're saying that Disney highlights the unparalleled value of its content, with over 90% of DirecTV households engaging with Disney's linear programming monthly. So they're saying that this makes Disney's content the highest performing on DirecTV's platform. They're saying the company also reiterated its substantial investment in linear channels, noting that almost all linear content is exclusive to or premieres on Disney networks, including live sports and events. They're saying the next key point is flexible packaging and participation in future DTC offerings. So as part of the negotiation process, Disney has proposed several package options that cater to DirecTV's needs while offering more choice and control to consumers. These include a sports-centric option featuring ESPN networks and ABC, an entertainment-based option featuring Disney Entertainment Networks, and linear offerings paired with Disney's direct-to-consumer subscription services. They're saying Disney also mentioned that they've provided DirecTV with opportunities to participate in future distribution of Disney's content. And the third key point here is fair marketplace-based rates. They're saying Disney is, of course, just seeking rates that align with those of other distribution providers, reflecting the value of their content in the marketplace. They're saying that Disney has also offered DirecTV multiple options to seamlessly integrate their linear platforms within Disney's direct-to-consumer streaming services, further enhancing the viewing experience, of course, for the consumers. They're saying that they believe that there is a path to a fair and flexible agreement that strikes the critical balance and works for all sides, especially the consumer. So the negotiations continue. We don't know how dirty this will get. We know that it's gotten very nasty and dirty between Disney and Spectrum, right? So Spectrum had a very hard time dealing with Disney, so much that they were really just considering letting it go. That's how nasty it got, and they were able to renegotiate. But again, that's up in the air. So, here's what's important. Disney is probably, you can argue that maybe probably one of the reasons some people still use traditional cable. Maybe, right? You can also just get Disney Plus, save a lot of money, and go that route. And many cord cutters have done that. But there are some families, maybe you have some members in the house that actually enjoy some traditional cable channels, and maybe, having the Disney Channel is a part of that. Maybe. Now, is Disney taking advantage of that? Is DirecTV and Spectrum wrong for trying to negotiate the best price possible, especially in a market where everyone is cutting the cord and it's really hard for a cable service like DirecTV to operate if they can't make good deals with the companies that are providing the content? So I think Disney wants what they want. They feel they know their value, but they're not thinking about the fact that things have changed. Consumers, the way consumers view streaming, view their content has completely changed. It's a different world. It's not like it was 10 years ago where you can kind of go in and say, well, we want this, we want that. There's many people that don't really care. They're not going to pay the rates that Spectrum or DirecTV is requesting just to get the content from Disney. They'll find other sources. So I think that's the problem here. That's the disconnect, is Disney doesn't get that. Disney doesn't understand what the cable providers are really trying to accomplish here. They're trying to accomplish a way for them to be able to provide this content in a way that consumers will actually go for it and can afford it. See, that's the thing. Like, many consumers don't want it. They don't want to pay a certain amount because they're a lot tighter with their money. People are starting to think a little differently now. But also, a lot of people just don't need it. They're finding that they don't need it. And Hollywood is not doing as well as it used to. The movies that Disney is producing aren't as big as they used to. Now, there are some movies that are still doing good. And like I said, to be honest, Disney's doing a little bit better than they were a year ago. According to reports, they're actually up in the second quarter over second quarter a year ago. So they've done a little bit better, and that's partially because they're adding a lot of sports, and they'll continue to add more ESPN and sports like that. But, eventually people will get sick of that because we all know it's going to be a lot of repetitive stuff. Probably not exactly the content you want to see, not the fights you want to see, not the games you want to see. They're going to pick and choose a lot of the stuff that's either old and rerun-ish or just limit it and force you to pay for on-demand or pay-per-view in order to get, the good stuff, all the good fights, all the good sports that you really want to see. And that's how it's always been. And I think that there's got to be some kind of restructuring here. These deals have got to be, they claim that it's in favor of the consumers, Disney, but when you really think about it, you have to do your research and you have to see what's happening. If consumers are cutting the cord on cable, that means that they're not seeing enough value. That means whatever content Disney is providing to the cable providers is obviously clearly just not enough, because if it was, people wouldn't be cutting the cord and leaving. And, Disney might think they're all it because they can just sell their channels individually. But what they don't understand is companies like Spectrum, Comcast, DirecTV, this is where a lot of their marketplace is. Consumers that have these cable companies are where they view a lot of this type of content. There's only a handful of people that are really just going to pay for Disney Plus separately. And even if they do, they're kind of getting sick of that as well. They're cutting the cord on that as well because prices are going up on that as well. So I get it. I get that, they're still trying to make money and they're still trying to keep the dream alive in Hollywood and all that. And no one's saying to stop making films and stop producing content. I think what I'm saying is there has to be a new thought process behind this. There has to be some kind of true agreement between the provider and, the service. And you really do need to take into equation that consumers will only pay so much in 2024 before they get fed up and just cancel it. There's a lot of stuff that you can find free. A lot of people don't even watch half the stuff anymore. And these are all factors. All factors. We're getting more and more free streaming services that are allowing you to have similar content at the cost of nothing. And I think Disney's kind of stuck in their ways. So no one is saying undervalue yourself. They've built a name, they've built a massive empire, and they deserve to be paid, but they know what's going on behind the scenes. Cable is almost as good as done, and companies like Disney are not helping. They're basically part of the reason why they're done. They can't provide enough value. Cable companies can't provide enough value and at an affordable price because they can't make these deals because the production companies are being stubborn and being difficult. The likes of Disney are being too complicated in a very difficult and hostile market. So, I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. Feel free to let me know your input about this. I just found it interesting because, this really all circles back to part of the downfall of traditional cable, right? We all know that pretty much days are numbered. Probably be another couple of years before we really don't get much updates regarding cable. It'll take a little more time before more people get tired of it, unless there's an overhaul and a big turnaround, which could happen because a lot of the cord cutting services that are paid for cord cutting services are getting a little bit pricey. So we might start to see a 360, but that's never really going to happen when companies like Disney are just being difficult, So I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be, but we'll keep our eyes and ears open and we'll see. As always, thank you guys for stopping by and watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.